I want to get to a wild story out of Russia. The daughter of a close friend of Vladimir Putin, his name's Alexander Dugin, was killed, or his daughter was killed, in what appears to be a contract killing, a car bombing just outside Moscow late Saturday. Russia has pinned this whole thing on Ukraine because, let's be honest, it fits the narrative. But this happened just after Dugin made statements calling for regime change in Russia. So a lot of questions about what's going on here. Joining us now for reaction is former Trump Deputy National Security Advisor and board member at the American Conservative Union, KT McFarland, back with us. KT, good morning. So nice to see you.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Rob.
KT, Ukraine says they've got nothing to do with this. I had a member of the Ukrainian parliament on. He said Ukraine had nothing to do with this. I'm not sure if you buy that, but what do you make of this?
Well, I don't think anybody knows. I mean, you know, the reports coming out of the Western media, fed by the State Department, Ukraine, this is an indication that there's a lot of people in Russia that don't like Vladimir Putin. So they blew up the car of one of his best friends, but unfortunately got the daughter. So a botched attempt. Then there is the other version of events, which is what you've just referred to, that maybe Russia, maybe it was a false flag operation. Maybe Russia's using this as an excuse to now ramp up its attacks on Ukraine, although it's hard to see that it gets much worse. I think the bottom line is we don't know. And to talk about Alexander Dugin as a close associate of Putin, I think is a big mistake. He's been Dugin has been very much in favor of the Ukraine operation. He's been very much in favor of reestablishing the greater Russian Empire, but he's not been a big Putin fan. So who knows? I think what I'd rather focus on is what do we know? Well, we know two things. One, European dependence on Russian energy, Russian natural gas, means that Russia has the ability to blackmail Europe, especially Germany, which is what they're doing right now.
Right.
And number two, we know because of Biden's war on fossil fuels, energy prices have shot through the roof. And what does that do? Makes Russia rich. As a result of being rich, Russia invades Ukraine.
Yeah, either way, I think whichever side you fall on when it comes to this particular situation, and the Western media says this guy, you know, they're building up that this guy was, you know, really good buddies with Vladimir Putin. I don't buy that. But either way, it might show that his grip on power in Russia, even if it wasn't the Ukrainians, might be slipping a little bit as we enter tomorrow, the 7th month of this war.
Yeah, and the other thing that's important is tomorrow is also Ukrainian 4th of July. That's the day that they celebrate their independence from the former Soviet Union.
Right.
So maybe this is you don't know, Rob. I mean, maybe it's a false flag operation. Maybe Putin decided, I'm going to get rid of somebody who's not being supportive of me, and I'm going to also use this as an excuse on the independence day of Ukraine to have a big attack. You just don't know. The one thing you do know, though, is that it shows you that the murky situation in that war is just as murky as ever, and it now, I think, has slipped into a war of attrition.
Yeah, amazing. Tomorrow will mark 6 months of that war. I want to talk about the raid on Mar-a-Lago. We're 15 days removed from that. The Trump team has filed a countersuit seeking a special master to review everything the FBI took. The judge that's going to rule on this, we think today, is actually a Trump-appointed judge. Why wasn't something like that done, though, 2 weeks ago? Why didn't the Trump team go after a special master immediately after the raid?
Well, because I think it's pretty obvious that the Justice Department has been weaponized against its political opponents, Donald Trump, Republicans, et cetera. I mean, that's pretty much in your face. I think the reason they did it was for a couple of reasons. Well, number one, you know, the Russia hoax, it turned out to be a hoax. They didn't get Donald Trump with colluding with the Russians. The first impeachment, that didn't work. Second impeachment, that didn't work. The January 6th hearings haven't really turned up much. And so they're pretty desperate. They've got to find some evidence somewhere of something. And I think that they were, you know, as a former attorney general said to me, you know what it was like? It was like they boiled the ocean in hopes a couple of dead fish will show up to the top. So maybe they're just looking for something. There's got to be something in there somewhere to incriminate Trump. There's also another sort of conspiracy idea. Maybe what they were doing was looking to see if Trump had anything to incriminate the Justice Department.
Interesting. Interesting. And a lot of people say he will be a candidate again in 2024. KT McFarland, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for your time. Always nice spending some time with you. Look forward to doing it again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.